I'm here with Paine at IMS in Boston, and we were just discussing engagement after a wonderful presentation made by Katie. How do you think people should change the way that they measure engagement based on that back and forth interaction between a company and a consumer and the dialogue that consumers have among themselves about a company? Do you think that one's more important than the other, or do you think that we should measure them differently? What do you think is more effective?
Well, I think ultimately you have to measure, the proper, correct way of doing this is to do a measure of your relationships with your customers now, then start your social media program, have the dialogue, measure again in 6 months, measure again 6 months after that, and you ask them questions about their relationship. Do you have the confidence that this company has the ability to do what it says it can do?
Yeah.
Does this company have a tendency to throw its weight around? All these relationship questions that are out there, they're proven. You do it once, you do it again, you do it again. Standard survey research methodology. That's in an ideal world. I know that people don't have the, patience to do it that way. So basically what ends up happening is you end up on Facebook measuring the length of the threads. You measure the degree. You can't do this automatically. What you have to do is you have to say, okay, there's a post out here, there are 55 comments, how many were unique commenters, how many were repeat commenters, and how many were in response to additional conversations. In Twitter, again, it's the same thing. It's tweet, retweet, and then following that conversation. And it's analyzing the content of that conversation. Because, if the whole conversation is, yes you can, no I can't, yes you can, no I can't, it's irrelevant. If the conversation is adding new thoughts in there and kind of boosting your reputation as a thought leader, that's a very different thing. Now, we've identified 27 different types of conversations. And there really aren't 28, trust me. So what you can do is you can classify all of the tweets, all of the conversations as to one of these 28s. And then you say, you know what, the ones where you're putting a one ad out there, I don't care about, let's throw those away. And the ones where you were sending around a joke, don't want that one, throw that away. Let's identify the 3 or 4 types of conversations that really make a difference to the business. In other words, voicing an opinion, advocating for a particular point of view, reinforcing a particular point of view, giving a shout out, ranting, raving, all these things. I unfortunately don't have all 27 memorized, but
Right.
But you figure out those 4 or 5 types of conversations really matter to you, and you rate each conversation based on does it matter, does it not matter.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, based on the tools that people use, do you think that it's more important for PR people to stay innovative in terms of engagement, like figure out what's going to happen next, or just know the tools that people see really well?
I think what matters in a conversation is what matters in any conversation in your living room or anywhere else, which is you have to keep the content coming. If I'm having a conversation with you in my living room, and I say I love Barack Obama, and you say I love Glenn Beck, and I say the reason I love this is because X, Y, and Z, and you say I love Glenn Beck, and that's all you're saying back to me, that conversation is going to stop dead. On the other hand, if you say, well, yes, but, and Glenn Beck has some good points, and he does this well, and he does this that well, and Barack Obama does this well, and let's bring in an analogy to, Latin America or something. You bring in different points of view and different thoughts, the conversation keeps going. It's the content. It's not the tool. It's all about the content, and are you coming up with new ideas and new thoughts? Because that's what gets people engaged. When Chris asked me, how do I do this? I spend an hour and a half every day, almost, and in that hour and a half, I literally go through all the alerts, all the social mention alerts, all the Google alerts. I open up every single one that is vaguely of interest. There's probably 10 any given morning, and of those 10, I might blog on one. So there's an awful lot of dribble out there, but then that one blog then gets comments going back and forth. Then, because I am measuring my engagement via the comments, the ones that get more comments, I'm going to do more of.
Do you think that it's going to be easier to cut through the babble as technology changes, or with Google Wave, it's just going to continue?
Not in the immediate future. The thing is the fact that is it going to be easier to throw throw out spam? Yes. You know, is it easier, does it get easier every day to throw out, you know, we do a lot of consumer brand stuff, and half of it is coupons, people sending coupons. Well, the first time you do that, that's really interesting to the client, because the clients put the coupon out there and they want to see how engaged people are. Well, guess what? They're engaged. 1,000 people retweeted your little coupon thing. Congratulations. You do not want me to read 1,000 coupon pass-alongs. You know, you can say there are 1,000 of these things. They fit over there into this bucket. We're not going to count them towards our PR stuff, but it's a good thing that's happened. So it's going to make it easier to classify some of the obvious stuff. It's not going to make it. It's not like we're going to be able to sit back and have a computer read all this stuff, not for at least another 10 years.
You think so?
Yeah. I think it's going to be 10 years before we trust computers enough to do this.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, and hope to speak to you again soon. Have a good rest of conference.
Thank you very much.